All right. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With Kurt Dog. Happy Sunday to everyone. Hopefully y'all having a great day today and had a great weekend. Hope y'all was safe. It have really been hot here in Texas. I want to welcome all our listeners on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, and the ones that are able to see us on Twitter. Um, you read the title. To all my white friends. We'll get into that in a little bit later. But tonight, um, a lot of people been asking me who did my t-shirts and and what company did it. So what I'm gonna do today, we actually have her on the phone tonight. Um, we're gonna talk about who did the t-shirt for the company for the show. So Pop Design, how you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. First of all, I want to thank you for doing the shirt for the show. I really appreciate it. I've been getting a lot of people asking who did the shirts and where you're located and how can they get in contact with you. So that's the reason why I wanted to bring you on to be able to talk about your company a little bit.
Okay, well, just want to thank you for having me on the show. Really do appreciate it. It was fun making the shirts for you. Right now, you can get in contact with me through my business cell phone number, and I'll go ahead and provide that now. That's 469-279-1767. If you want to check out some of my work, I am on Instagram. It is POC Designs. That's POC Designs underscore. We do design shirts for small businesses who are looking to promote themselves. If you don't have a logo, that is fine. I can create a logo, as I did for you, Kurt. And there's no extra charge from that because I am not a logo maker. We also do family reunions and sporting events. If you want to customize the back of your jersey, or if you need some numbers attached to your jersey, I can also do that as well.
Okay. And she really did a great job. I sent her a couple of ideas, and then she came up with the wording on it on the shirts, and I was like, "Hey, that look good." So, and she did communicate with me throughout the whole process. So definitely pull up on Instagram, POC Design. Um, on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, go through. Um, she posts stuff all the time, so definitely go through and support her. She is a black-owned business, and we need a supporter. So, um, and do you do bulk orders, or is it a certain amount of shirts people have to do, and do you have your own line of shirts also?
Yes, I do bulk orders. Right now, orders start out at $20 per shirt. If you do a bulk order, which is 10 shirts or more, I'll take it down to $15. And also, if they mention that they came from Kurt Dog, you'll receive 25% off. Um, and I do also make my own line of shirts. Most of them are Black empowerment shirts. I have my most popular shirt out right now that says unapologetically blackity black black. And basically, what that means is that we're no longer apologizing for the things that make us black. For example, our hair, the way we walk, the way we talk, our mannerism within our culture. A lot of times those get deemed as ghetto or unprofessional, and right now I'm saying that we're no longer apologizing for that. So you can also follow me on Instagram if you want to get that unapologetically black.
There you go. So definitely reach out to her if you don't have the information. You can reach out to me if you have any question for it. You can actually put it in the chat, and I will uh, ask her the question. Um, I appreciate you for coming on. I thank you for the job that you've done tonight. For the shirts that I have, I know we talked earlier today, and I have to get a couple of more. So, so we'll be discussing that on tomorrow. But appreciate everyone that have um, supported the show so far by purchasing a T-shirt. We are working on some more things, have more designs that we are also working on. So definitely pull up on Instagram, send her a message. If you have an idea, throw it out there, and she'll be able to serve you properly. Give that information one more time so they can make sure they have it. And
All
yeah,
right, so my Instagram is POC Designs. That's DESIGNS _. If you want to reach me by phone, my phone number is 469-279-1767.
there you go. Well, I definitely appreciate you calling in tonight.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Now we got to get back to our regular broadcast.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye. All right. There you go. Y'all support the sister, Pac Design _ on Instagram, and support her. So I see we have Henny from Periscope want to come in and troll. So apparently he read the title. So the title tonight is to all my white friends. To all my white friends that blame the victims for being murdered by the police. It's not their fault. Now, I've struggled with this. I'm not getting lied to you. I struggle because I try to respond back to every comment people make. Some people get in their feelings about certain posts I put up about what's going on in the world. Well, tonight I said I'm going to address all of that because people get in their feelings. They call themselves your friends, regardless of how long you've been knowing them. They say they're your friends, but they cannot be a true friend if they're trying to justify unjust killing. If they're saying that the victim was at fault for what happened to them, there's no way you could be a friend. And when we know a person that was killed that didn't have a background, Breonna Taylor, that was sleeping in her bed when the cops broke into her home, you didn't say nothing. Trayvon Martin, you didn't say nothing. But because Jacob Blake have or had a warrant out, you're talking quite a bit. And my thing is, have that same energy. Don't look at the victim background because he wasn't doing those particular crimes at the time of being shot. Now, we could go down the list. When George Floyd, when the whole world seen George Floyd get murdered, you didn't say nothing. But when you did say something, well, he should have been given a fake bill. That don't justify murder. So everybody who claim to be your friend, they definitely not. See, I have a small circle of friends, true friends, for the simple fact you know a true friend. A true friend, you don't have to say anything. If they know you need something, if they know you personally, they always gonna have your back, regardless of what it is. You may not have the same views as them, but for someone to come and try to justify some of these killings by talking about a person background, that background don't mean anything, for the simple fact they wasn't committing no crime. If you go and look back over the history of America, we're not just talking about the last 5 or 6 years. We're talking about the history of America. All the black people that was killed in slavery, all the way up until today, a lot of them back in slavery, hell, they'll kill you just for looking at somebody wrong. They would lie on you and say, he whistled at a white woman. Or they would lie and say, he tried to come on to me. Whatever the case may be. We're in a time today, at some point, you have to look at things differently. Stop blaming the victims. The victim did not wake up that morning and say, I think I want to get killed today. I'm going to be unarmed and I'm going to go out here and get killed. I'm going to go out here and get shot in the back. But the only time you say something is when you talk about the victim background. You don't ever say, that's wrong. And I'm not talking about all of my white friends, because some of them are pissed off just like me. I'm talking about the ones that send the messages to me trying to justify the shooting. Those are the ones I'm talking about, because nothing that person did was worth that person being killed over. Every case I ever talk about on this show, on this platform, is cases where it was unjust killing. I'm not talking about somebody going out there doing drive-bys and get killed. Hell, they doing drive-by, they supposed to get killed. I'm talking about the ones that simple traffic stop. How about the fact that a couple of weeks ago I talked about the police officer that was driving through Alabama in uniform. She got pulled over. And the thing is, you didn't reach out to me then. You didn't say nothing about the story. Welcome to the show, Marino Hussein. Said it's really pretty simple though. Why not? There's a difference. So I'm not talking about all white folks. I'm talking about my white friends, or my white so-called friends, that want to reach out to me and talk about a post I put up. Pimp Juice, this is not the night. Because you keep on following that train wreck. You keep following that train wreck and see what happened. Um, that's why we're in the predicament that we're in now. Because his silly ass didn't believe this virus was serious enough. He felt like it would blow over, and his ass still don't want to wear a fucking mask. So you could go on with that bullshit tonight. You one of those white folks that's probably blaming the victim for being murdered by the police. So tonight is not the night. I'm just saying, I'm tired of it. That's your opinion. You can say what you want to say, but at the same time, you keep thinking it's a scam. Keep thinking that. So, uh, but I appreciate you for listening in. Share it with your friends. Share it with your friends. I'm not gonna put dumbass comments up on the stream, so I'm not gonna give them that type of option. So, um, no, I haven't had COVID. Um, but he said Hussein said he have. Um, so I'm glad you survived it. But at the same time, we have people out here that believe everything Trump say, everything that he says. But the problem is, if you're too blind to realize he's leading you down a deep, 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 deep rabbit hole and putting you in the grave. Because eventually, you keep on following his lead, that's where you're going to end up at, in the grave. But back to the point. I'm talking about the people that is sending me messages saying all this crazy stuff, blaming the victim, and that's your choice. But you need to realize everybody who been killed by the police, a lot of them probably got pulled over for a traffic stop, cooperating with the policeman, give them their license, insurance, registration, give them their concealed license. Then they ask if it's a weapon in the car. Then they turn around and shoot them. What a lot of people don't realize, our skin color is a threat to most people. Mm. Just by the color of our skin, people are afraid. So, other than that, hey, I want to know what y'all feel about it. It's really nerve wracking to have discussion with people that supposedly be your friends that you've known for a very long time. And welcome to the show, Charles Hunt. Thank you for watching. Um, and for people try to justify the killing of an unarmed black or brown person, there's no justification in it. None whatsoever. That's why we need to change these laws. That's why we need to go out there and make sure we vote. Get these people out of office that turn their head when these incidents happen. And we need to make sure we make a difference and get those folks out of office. I know I'm tired of dealing with responding back to the comments, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not gonna respond back to them. Um, I'm not gonna respond back to them at all. While y'all sending those chats in, go ahead and share it with your friends. Share it with your friends at the same time. Um, and if you listen to the show, I never said all policemen. I know some great policemen. So, um, but I'm not gonna put up the silly comments they making. Make sure y'all share it with a friend. Like, subscribe, um, get the notification whenever we come on live. Continue to support the show. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Um, Continue to support it, and make sure you tell your friends. But so much going on in the world today. It should be us coming together as people and having peace everywhere, working together. Because if you believe it or not, we're still in a pandemic. Um, Still in a pandemic. Pandemic. Um, and it affect all of us. Thank you for watching, Brad Nace. Um, it affect all of us. So regardless of who you are, what color you are, coronavirus don't care about you. You keep believing it's a joke, one day it's gonna knock on your front door and it's gonna hit you hard. So also, I was watching um, a protest earlier, and this was here in Texas, and I was like, man, it's really jacked up that you having a peaceful protest, but then they want to have some noose hanging out there up in Gainesville, I believe it was. Not sure what was the purpose of the nooses, but at the same time, that's the type of stupidity that we need to stop having in America. So it's um it's unnecessary for it. And hey, I appreciate y'all with the chats, the ones on Periscope. I knew it'll be this type of show, but keep it going. Like I said, share it with your friend. Let your friend know we're on. We're on tonight. So, and make sure you follow me. Um, Share it with your friend. Click the notification. You know what time I come on, and you more than welcome to come back every time. I appreciate it. So, also the Portland shooting that happened. Um, with the Portland shooting, there was some Trump supporters up there. Then there was some anti-Trump supporters. Um, you're welcome, Brad. Thank you. Um, Appreciate it, Charles Hunt. Um, it was some anti-Trump supporters up there, and one of them got upset and shot and killed the person, which was unnecessary. Unnecessary because we had a right to protest, If someone don't agree with you, they don't agree with you. That's all to it. We had a right to agree and disagree. But to kill someone, that's not right. Just because they don't believe in what you believe in. And blaming the victims that have been victims of police killings or any of that is definitely not right. Um, it's just not right. But if you don't um, Periscope, I have some trolls on Periscope, so they keep loading up the chat room. They're a little bit pissed tonight, but that's cool. I'm used to it. So I just hope they share it with their friends and they start to watch also. That would really be great. I really appreciate them coming on here. Um, they meant it for evil, but it's coming out for good. Please take the numbers up. I appreciate it. So as long as you keep sending those chats in, the numbers keep rising. I definitely appreciate it. Uh, they don't understand how much I appreciate them. So listening to the Portland, um, I'm also looking into this other case that happened. I think it was New York, upstate New York, um, where a Hispanic woman was killed in her bed a couple of years ago. Same way. That particular city have 96% Caucasian in it, and no charges been filed in that case. Where she was sleeping in a bed, cops broke into her house and shot her and killed her laying in the bed, and no charges. So I'm I'm reviewing all the information about that, but what I've seen so far, it's not good. And that was in New York. So when people say, "Why do you say Black Lives Matter?" That's the reason why. Because we're tired of all the senseless killing that's dealing with the policemen, um, the cover up, and we want them to be held accountable for what they're doing. And we want to be able to live the American dream like everybody. But unfortunately, black people and brown people get the short end of the stick. You can have someone call the police on you just by saying that you looked at them wrong. I seen an incident last month. Yeah, man and his girlfriend going to eat lunch. Going to eat lunch. And unfortunately, they passed by this woman. The woman called the police. Said he looked at her wrong. Police come out and they had the guy held out there for about a half hour. But when his mama showed up, it was a different story because she wanted to know why. Stop calling the police on innocent people. It's not worth it. Look at the woman in Central Park called the police on a black man for bird watching. Why? Why? It's unnecessary. So I'm asking all of my white friends, my true white friends, please, before you judge the victim, look at the what happened to them. What were they doing at that time? Be outspoken about all of it. Just don't pick and choose certain one. Let's be outspoken about all of it. Because if all of us are outraged about what's going on in the world, about what we're seeing in the world, we all can make a difference. We can all change America laws, but we just cannot pick and choose on which ones we're going to talk about. And what I mean about that, I'm talking about the ones that we know. The person was unarmed. The person may had a traffic stop, and the officer ended up killing an unarmed person for no reason. Or officer may go into the wrong apartment, kill a man eating ice cream. Okay. But don't automatically assume and blame the victim. Look at the entire case before you start blaming the victim. And once you start to see that is really nothing the victim did. Only thing they did, they was blessed blessed by the sun to have a dark skin. So you cannot blame the victim for somebody else's stupidity or someone racial thoughts or the way that somebody else was raised to hate another race that is not your race. And I know, I know I probably have less friends tonight than when I had before. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. But one thing I won't do, I won't block you. You're entitled to your opinion. But if you're wrong about it, I'm gonna check you on it. I'm gonna tell you it's wrong. Don't blame the victim. I'm sure that victim did not wake up that morning and say, "Hey, I think I want to die today." That's not how it goes. But more times than others, we end up having people getting killed. And the first thing a lot of people say, well, look at their background. They shouldn't have did this. They shouldn't have done that. So you saying they shouldn't stop for the police? They should have been driving while black. They shouldn't have been walking down the street carrying a baby. Hmm. Yeah, that just happened in Pennsylvania this um, last couple of days. Guy walking down to the convenience store to get cigarettes, holding his baby. 4 police officers stopped him. His child. And one of the neighbors said, "Hey, this man live here. That's his child. Where the mama at?" So now we cannot walk down the street with our child. You automatically think it's a problem if you see a black man walking with a child. Those the things people don't want to be truthful about. You mean to tell me you snatched the child out the man's hand and you turn around, slam him on the ground, put him in cuffs, asking him question with your knee on his neck, asking where the mother, and he's like, she's right there, giving the apartment number. And people in the neighborhood saying, hey, that's his child. That is his child. But they didn't care. They didn't care because he was a black man walking with a child. Regardless of what they say, black men do love their kids. But because he was black and walking with his child, they automatically assume the worst of him. Let me know how y'all feel about this. And I'm sure I'm not the only one dealing with issues with um, some of our white colleagues and friends that are blaming the victim for being murdered, for being beaten by the police. We got to stop that. We got to look at everything. We got to look at it the way it should be. Right is right is right, wrong is wrong. Call it like it is. That's all I'm asking everybody to do. Call it just like it is. So I appreciate it. See, the dumbass comments you making, that's part of the problem right there. Because if you took the time to get to know someone outside of your race, you might have a different outlook. But hey, I don't expect nothing different from you because you already said you're a Trump supporter. So, hey, okay. So, sometime whoever you supporting, that may be your mindset because Trump don't do anything but speak racist, saluting people to say white power and stuff like that. So I know I deal with people like you all the time, so that's all good. And I'm not talking to myself. I'm watching the comments coming in from Periscope. Um, they can say what they want to say because they behind a platform and they uh, want to try to troll me. Hey, I see. I guess one of you share it with your friends because I see somebody new on here, so that's a good thing. Um, I appreciate it. Keep sharing it with your friends. Tell them come join it, and definitely continue chatting. Help my rating of the show go up, and invite your friends. I appreciate it. Y'all come back now. Um, but like I said, this election is very important coming up November the 3rd. We got to look at what's important. We could go apple for apple. We've been in this pandemic for what, 7, 8 months now. We could have avoided this if, when Trump got into office, he decided to terminate the team that was in place to prevent these type of things. So because of that, we all have lost money. Some of us have lost jobs. Um, some of us have probably have lost their home. Thank God we haven't. We're in a good position. But some of us have lost a lot of things. Yeah, Brad Nate says since March. Yeah, that's when they started paying more attention to it. But had been reports came out said it could have came around November or December. Um, but and then even the first of the year when I think they first told Trump about it, either November or December, and he didn't start taking it serious to March or something like that. But we can say from March. And so we're about to go into our 6 month of lockdown since March. So with that being said, I think if we had a team in place, we could have avoided all this lockdown because they would have been ahead of it. They would have worked on it as soon as they found out about it. But because Trump didn't take it serious and he just started wearing a mask maybe a month and a half ago, and sometimes he still don't wear it. So that's one issue. Yeah, he could say we had the best number possible, more jobs created. No jobs that you created, just the ones that lost their jobs, where they actually was rehired. So you cannot say you created more jobs than past presidents. That's not always the truth. Look how many people lost their jobs for a couple of months. Of course, the number's going to go up once people start back working, but that's nothing to brag about. If you're taking this pandemic serious enough, we wouldn't be in this predicament now. So, come November the 3rd, we need a vote. We need a vote. Trump had proven he's going to try to win by any means necessary. That's why he started trying to prevent mail-in ballots. But he got his mail-in ballot, but he don't want no one else to vote by mail. It's not safe enough for everybody to vote by mail, but it's safe enough for him to do it. And people say my vote don't count. Yeah, your vote do count. Because if it didn't, they wouldn't be working so hard to try to keep you from voting. So your vote do count. We also need to vote for our local election. That's where our laws are made at. Need to fill out our census support. Every 4 years, need to fill them out. That's how they know what the community need. How many people in the community? So definitely fill them out. Nothing wrong with it. Fill it out. Don't try to get out of jury duty. I go every year when they send for me. I go. And just because people look at black and brown, all of us do not have a record. That's another problem in America. Just because we may be black or brown, they automatically assume we've been to jail. That's not the case. If you take the time to know someone, then you would understand. I've been knowing Brad for uh what 30 almost 32 years growing up. Used to hang out at his house, him and his brother, mom, dad. I'm not gonna say what all we did, but um, we was we did some stuff. Williamson Park. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, so there's a difference. You have to be able to agree and disagree on things. But please, I'm asking everybody, don't look at a person's skin and automatically assume they did it just because of that. Wow. Wow. He said his brother was just in PA 62 shooting in 2 days. 62 shooting in 2 days. That's crazy. That's crazy. Um, man, that's a lot of people in 2 days, and that's probably a small area where the shooting took place. And even here in Dallas, seem like every time I get an alert on my phone, it's about a shooting or something here in Dallas. Every morning on the news, 3 or 4 people been shot. People is hurting right now because, and they frustrated because we're unable to do our normal things. But then when you add racism to it, it really make it even worse because now you have certain news outlet. As soon as something happened, first thing they do is bring up a person background instead of looking at the event itself or what just happened. Instead of doing that, the reason why this happened, what happened in their background had nothing to do with the reason why they got shot or was killed during that time. Had nothing to do with it. Then you got to look at it like this. When it's one person and you have 3 or 4 policemen there, and then that person end up getting killed for whatever reason. What if they're walking away from the policeman with a knife in their hand, but they not charging the policeman? Had a knife in their hand, then they get shot in the back. Or you have a person that's once again walking away from the policeman, allegedly had a knife, but no knife was found. Allegedly said he was going to get a gun at the car. No gun was found, but he shot 7 times in the back. And you have a person sleep in a bed in the middle of the night. Police supposedly come and do a no knock warrant, but don't identify themselves. And someone coming in your house that time of night, not identifying themselves, and at this point, even if they did, if they didn't yell out police department and they just run up in your house, you have every right to defend your house. But then the officer lied to get the warrant. He need to be held accountable for it. He need to be held accountable. Even if no one died in that incident, he still lied to get that warrant. So, yes, he should be held accountable. Kind of like a couple of years back, same police department. 5 of those cops that was involved with Breonna Taylor killing, 5 of them was involved in another incident a couple of years before where they had a no-knock warrant bust into these people's house and kind of find out they was going off of a tip from 4 months earlier before the people moved into that house. And now that family is having a nightmare of what happened. They bust in, kids in the house, kids terrified, the parents terrified, and no arrest was made. So hopefully, and people should be outraged for the simple fact, especially up in Kentucky, because they're gonna have to pay. We all should be tired of having to pay, having our tax dollars to go to these settlements for these bad cops. Every time a cop does something wrong, there's a settlement gonna follow. And guess what? Your tax is gonna go up. We're gonna end up paying for it somehow, some way. So we all should be outraged. Every year when property taxes come out, first thing I hear on next door and on the news about how to protest your property taxes. Well, one way of protesting, tell the dirty cops stop killing folks, stop abusing their power, stop making the city paying out money that we shouldn't have to pay out. So yeah, we all should be at an outrage. Then you have, seem like every other day there's a new incident come up. Even with um, the 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse. Well, guess what? I've had the discussion. I've seen the videos. The reality of it, I even seen one report where they said he was called to come and protect that service station. Who in a right mind calling a 17-year-old child to come and protect their property? It just don't make sense. Are you advertising that you can provide protection for people? So I've seen where people broke it down, said, oh, he's not going to be charged for this, not going to be charged for that. I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know one thing. If he wasn't there, it's not going to, it wouldn't happen. Whatever reason why he was there. I've heard different stories. I don't know what's true, what's not true. I wasn't there. But I know what I have seen. I know what I've watched, what I heard. But at the same time, it's gonna be an interesting trial. And I also feel like whoever provided the weapon for him whatever charges he have, they should also get. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I know it's two people lost their life, and one person, I believe, lost the arm. And the first thing I heard was talking about the background of the first person that was shot. Yeah, he probably was a pedophile. According to um, I believe it was either Arizona or New Mexico record department, he was a pedophile. But that didn't give a right to kill him, though. He wasn't committing a crime then. He was protesting and allegedly chased him, or whatever the case may be. And if it's come out that it was justified, need to put all the evidence out there. But the problem that I have with it is the fact the police came up. It was past curfew, thanking him for being there, thanking that group for being there. Then they come out and say, um, the sheriff came out and said they called him and see if they could deputize him. And all of that add up to they was hoping, allegedly hoping to have some issues. I've heard he was already in town. Welcome to the show, Shakito Lockett. Thank you for watching. You can chat live with us in the chat room if you want to hit on this subject. So allegedly, it was some type of confrontation between him and the first victim, and then something happened with the second one. I don't know. I don't know what to believe because with technology today, people can mix stuff up real quick. So I don't know what to believe, what not to believe. But at the same time, what I do believe, if he wasn't there trying to be a hero, it wouldn't have happened. Now, on that same route, people are saying he's a hero. But then a video came out a couple of days ago of him hitting a woman because this woman and this other young lady got into it, and he come from behind and started hitting this woman from behind in her face. As a man, that's wrong. And all these people that are supporting him, why not bring up his background? That was a video that came out. I posted it on my page. But some of these same folks that justifying what he did, they don't want to talk about that part of it. Let's talk about his background. Yeah, I'm sure some people are going to say his background have nothing to do with it. But have that same energy when a unarmed black or brown person is killed by the police. Their background don't have anything to do with it. Just the fact that whatever the issue was at the time, until you walk in my shoes, because I've been racial profiled before. If you listen to the show, I've talked about it many of times. And most people that know me personally know I'm a life of the party. I'm gonna keep you laughing. But that Saturday morning when I got stopped by the police on my way to work, they didn't care. They didn't care I was on my way to work. Only thing they seen was a big black man driving a brand new car. Driving a brand new car. That's all they cared about. Had me out there for hour and a half. Called my mom and my sister. They came up there. This brother had stopped. He seen what was going on. He called 911. Said, this don't look good. You have a young black man out here with two white cops. It don't look good. But what the cops told me, oh, we had one letter off wrong and the car came back stolen. And try to get me to sit in a car to take a look at their computer. If I would have stepped foot in that car, they would have shot me dead. And I'm saying that because once my mom and sister got there, the brother said every time I walked toward the car, I would put my hands behind my back and kind of lean in and look at the computer. And he said every time I did that, they seemed like they was getting ready to attack me. So when y'all send me these messages talking about the victim shouldn't did this, shouldn't have done that, well, I'm a victim of racial profile. That's why I'm so passionate about it. And I think the officers, the good officers that I know, told me how to handle that issue. So I'm asking all my white friends, before you blame the victim, find out the story. Don't stop at their background. Look at what happened at that moment. Because their background don't have anything to do with it. Look at what happened. Look at what led to it. Yeah, I get people sending me cases all the time. I look into them. But if it's something wrong with it, no. Somebody out here shooting a gun, pointing a gun at an officer, well, guess what? Your ass supposed to be shot. But if you unarmed and getting murdered and people trying to justify it and nothing happened to that officer, that's the issue. I have an issue with that. That could have been me 20 years ago. So, yeah, I have a problem with it. And until you have walked in my shoes to understand exactly the trouble that a black man go through just because the color of his skin, people can look at us and automatically assume the worst of us. I know it personally. Before the lockdown, I go out and play poker. Free poker. Let me rephrase that. Free poker. And a lot of people that I play with, they automatically assume I was a mean person until they got to know me. And they've told me this. So, and I would tell them then, never judge the book by its cover. Take the time and learn someone. Talk with them. You never know. You never know. Never know how a person really is unless you take the time to get to know that person. And that's what it's all about tonight. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to explain to people that don't understand what I go through as a black man, what another black man or Hispanic man or someone other than white may go through. I'm tired of trying to explain that to somebody, but they don't want to hear my point of view, somebody who dealt with it. They mind is already made up. They know exactly how they feel. They don't care what I say. They mind is made up. They feel like they right. But no, until you able to walk in my shoes and experience that, that's a problem. That's kind of like I say this all the time with people. Switch roles. What if it was black cops killing unarmed white men? How would you feel? I know for me, I would still be pissed because it's not right. It's not right at all. Kind of like before, I guess a couple of years back up in Michigan, two officers got a call. They were sitting in the alley, couldn't find the person who made the 911 call. They sitting in the alley, dark alley. Well, this this a woman they later identified it was a woman approached them in this dark alley. Well, when she approached the side of the car, the partner of that police officer pulled this weapon, shot her, and killed her. We come to find out it was a person of color. I don't think he was completely black. I forgot his race, but he wasn't Caucasian. Um, that guy in jail, in prison now because of it. Forgot how much time he got, but that's the difference. That's the difference between white justice and black justice. It needs to be equal. And I'm not saying he was right for doing it, but when the story came out, they couldn't find the person they was looking for that made the call in a dark alley and someone walked up. He was scared. He didn't know what was going on, just seeing someone come up. He pulled this gun, shot it, and killed the woman. And they later found out after he was shot, it was a lady. Had no idea. But they sent them to jail. So I think if it was a Caucasian person, I don't think he would have went to jail. That's my opinion. So, but like I said, I'm here tonight to talk to my white friends. Please don't blame the victim. Find out what happened at that time. Don't look at their background. Don't look at the color of their skin. Just look at the facts. Man get pulled over. Man give the officer all this information, including his concealed license. He was asked if he have a weapon in the car. He said yes, it's in the glove box. A couple of seconds later, he shot and killed in front of his girlfriend and child. That cop didn't care who was in the car with him. He just started shooting. Why? Cop get off. So that's all I'm asking all my white friends. Please, don't blame the victim. Look at it for like it is. And if we do that, I think we'll get along much better. I really feel like we will. So, hope y'all have a great Sunday. I will be back on tomorrow night. And you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope. You can always leave your comments. Um, I will respond to some, but I'm not going to go back and forth trying to justify my feelings as a black man. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm tired, waste of time. So, but definitely click the notification for you can know whenever we come on. Also, go out and support uh, Doc Design underscore on Instagram. She's the one that made the shirt for the show. Um, we're getting some more shirts in here soon. We actually she's gonna let me know tomorrow when they'll be ready. So we're working on getting some more shirts in. If you have placed the order, I have your shirts, but uh, we have a small amount of shirts left, and that's why I'm having to order more. So definitely continue to support the show, tell a friend, like and share, and hopefully we can start to look at other things with the show and do more things with the show. Uh, I built this platform to give us the opportunity to talk about whatever is on our mind, different subjects, whatever it is you would like to talk about. If it's something you want us to speak on, you could definitely send us a email or hit me in the DM, either one. Speak on it with who you with, Kurt Dog. You can send me an email at who you with, Kurt Dog at mail.com. That's WHO, the letter U, WITHCURTDOG at mail.com. I'm online a lot these days. So if you see me online, send me a message. Send me a message. Let's communicate. If it's something you want us to talk about, hey, we can speak on it. But tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, um, we will be back on. I think in about 2 weeks, I'm gonna get with the counselors that normally be on the show and get with them because we do need counseling. I tell everybody, look, don't be afraid to take counseling because we all need to take counseling from time to time. I take it weekly, um, so definitely once we start by getting back to our shows with the counselors on, or if you are a licensed counselor that would like to be on the show, definitely send me an email. Who you with? KurtDog at mail.com. WHO, letter U, WITHCURTDOG at mail.com. Or send me a message in the inbox and I will respond back to you. Um, Also, if you are a agent, a book agent, or if you are a author, definitely reach out to me. We would like to highlight your business on the show. And author, musician, actor, um, whatever it is, whatever project you're working on, send me an email and we will try to highlight your show. So until I'm thinking that's everything I had, but soon as I know tomorrow um when we get some more shirts and we still have some. We have some I think a couple of extra large, a couple of large and mediums left. Oh, and a couple of smalls. So everything else is pretty much gone. If you interested in buying a shirt, it's $25 each. Um, Reach out to me and we can make the arrangement, get it sent to you. $25 regardless of the size. Um, $25 each, and we will get it sent out to you once payment is received. So, um, other than that, I appreciate y'all for listening in tonight, and I will see y'all tomorrow night. Um, Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time, we'll go back to our regular broadcast and go from there. So I love each and every one of you, including my trolls on Periscope. I love you too. Um, until then, talk to you soon. Peace.